Cherry harvest is a big deal in northern Michigan. Each year, thousands of people work to get the 250 million pounds of cherries safely off the trees and into the freezers. Look at how beautiful they are. Our region is so fortunate to be home to the cherry, the greatest of all the fruits. There are enough cherries on the average tree to make 30 to 40 pies. That's over 5,000 cherries. Our production facility, where we make our jams and salsas, is just 100 feet from Tom Lackey's orchard, which is the orchard we catch on film and where thousands of pounds of our cherries come from. It's a joy to be out there with Tom and his family during harvest. His sons and even his grandsons help bring the fruit in. Thanks to the cherry shaker, though, all it takes is that family to do the picking, which is a vast contrast to many years ago when entire towns would go out and hand-pick the crop. Overall, there is nothing like being in an orchard during harvest. It is such an energizing experience. It connects us to nature, to history, to our culture, and to the greater world. So the cherries come off the tree and go into these 500-gallon tanks of water. This cold water keeps them cool and allows them to be transported without bruising. They can stay in these tanks for up to 3 days before they need to be processed, as long as the fresh cold water is run through them. The Lackeys have an old truck that transports the tanks of cherries across the road to Triple D Orchard's packing facility. It is a short trip, which is just right for this old truck. The tanks of cherries are offloaded and stored in the irrigation building. With special instruments, the inspector can get a good idea of how many pounds of cherries are in each tank. Cherries look so striking, floating in water in the bright sun. One by one, the tanks are taken outside to the conveyors that bring the cherries by chutes, ladders, and belts to the packing facility. The first thing that happens inside is they are sorted. Most are graded A, which means they are going to be pitted, packed, and frozen. But some are diverted to these tanks, which turn them into juice. The most important thing on the processing line is the pitter. The cherries fall into these metal cups, and a small metal spike punches out the pit. Ah, that sure is a lot better than the old hand pitting days. The cherries literally fly off the pitter and back onto the belt and continue down the separating line. Down the line they go. Most of these ladies are sorting and separating out the unripe or bruised cherries. These cherries continue down the line and are getting separated into 40-pound batches. These batches will be dropped into buckets. The buckets will be injected with a small amount of liquid sugar and then loaded onto trucks and stored at one of the giant freezers in the area. We have freezers the size of football fields all around the north, and they are filled to the ceiling with ruby red morsels of joy. Now it is Cherry Republic's turn to do our magic. Come follow our new production line as we make Cherry Salsa. And we make it just across the road from the Lackey's orchard. We use IQF cherries in our salsa. IQF stands for Individually Quick Frozen Cherries. The cherries are pitted and flash frozen. We add diced and whole cherries to our salsa. We add tomatoes, onions, and other secret ingredients. They cook in these giant kettles. We spend a lot of our time mixing and tasting. Then we start filling the jars. Sometimes we hand pack, sometimes we use automated fillers. Today was a small run, so we did a hand packing. The jar gets a little nitrogen injection to sterilize the airspace between the salsa and the lid. Then down the conveyor it goes. After the capper machine twists on the lid, the jars are washed and cooled. A label is put on next. And finally, into the cases they go. This pallet is ready to go. It won't wait long before the jars of this salsa will be sitting in one of our store shelves, or it might be shipped FedEx to a cherry lover in Oregon or South Carolina. The cherry has some really unique characteristics that make the salsa so great. They are really versatile. They can go sweet, they can go sour. A cherry can go spicy and a cherry can go savory. And about all those flavors happen in this little jar of salsa. Hey, thanks for taking the time to tour the entire process from harvest to jar. Next year, we hope to personally give you a tour.